Okay, we're sitting in Jenny's bedroom, just the two of us, because I asked Jenny if she would mind doing a video about some Q&As about her miscarriage experience. So why did you agree to do this video? Because I know it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, I think that miscarriage is something that is not talked about all that often, and we went through our miscarriage. I miscarried in my second trimester, so as difficult as that was, it actually, as far as the healing process goes, it was, I think, a blessing in disguise, because we had so many people that knew about it and reached out to us, and through that process I learned a ton of my girlfriends and acquaintances had gone through miscarriages that I never knew about, and they had never been able to talk to anyone about it. So I think that it's just...
Why do you think they had never been able to talk to anybody about it?
Well, most people miscarry in their first trimester before they announced to people, and we had announced to everyone. By the time I'd miscarried at 15 weeks, and I just guess in our society it's just an uncomfortable conversation, and so, you know, a lot of people are thinking about you, but they just don't know how to talk to you about it, which I completely understand. I still don't know how to talk to people about it, and I've been through one. So I think that it's just a difficult conversation to have, even if you do know that someone's gone through one.
Yeah. Do you mind telling a little bit about your actual miscarriage and how you knew it was happening?
Yeah. No, I don't mind. We actually didn't know it was happening when it was happening. We knew something wasn't right, but we had flown out to California we were living in Tennessee at the time, or Virginia, and we had flown for a girlfriend of mine's wedding. I was a bridesmaid in her wedding, on the coast of California. And so we made a vacation out of it and flew out the week before. So we flew out on a Monday, and Tuesday I started just the tiniest bit of, like, a little spot, and I immediately called my nurse, and she said it was nothing to worry about, but to, you know, kind of take it easy and call her if it got worse. And so by Wednesday, we had breakfast in San Francisco, and then we were making our way out to Napa Valley with a big group of our friends. And by the time we'd gotten out to Napa Valley, it wasn't any worse, but it wasn't any better, really, and it was continuous. And so, but still very, very, very minor. And we called our nurse out there, and she said, well, take it easy, but, you know, still nothing to worry about. You will know if you're miscarrying. That's what everyone kept saying to me. And we didn't know. So I kind of put myself on restricted bed rest, and we kind of took the afternoon off. Like, our friends went and did wine tastings, and we just hung out at the hotel and took it easy. And then Thursday morning I woke up, and it had gotten a little bit heavier, but still nothing that would have sounded the alarms to me. I knew something wasn't right, but it really didn't cross my mind that I'd be miscarrying. So we went to the emergency room to check, and the baby was actually fine then, moving around, strong heartbeat. They just didn't know where the bleeding was coming from. And so that was the first time that I heard a doctor say that I had a threatened miscarriage, is the term that he used. And that was the first time that it crossed my mind that it might not be okay. And so I got really upset, and obviously. And he said, you have to be on complete bed rest until you can get back to Atlanta to see your doctor. So that was on Thursday. The good news, we still had the fact that we had seen the baby. The heartbeat was fine, measuring fine. So that was Thursday. Our flights weren't till Sunday. So I missed the wedding, and we just stayed at our hotel. And I was able to get in the car on Sunday and fly back, and we had an emergency appointment with our doctor first thing Monday morning. And when the bleeding had continued, And by the time I got to the doctor's office Monday morning, I knew. I didn't know, but I had prepared myself a little bit for if news wasn't good. But John Michael, he was convinced that everything was okay. And I actually, right before we went to the doctor's office, I used the restroom and my water broke. And I didn't know at the time that it was my water breaking, but I just used the restroom and it broke when I was, as we were getting ready to leave. So I knew that I hadn't just wet myself. So I didn't tell anyone that had happened. I just kind of put that back in the back of my head. And when we went in for the ultrasound, the baby, there was no water in the sac. The baby had stopped moving. So they scheduled me because I had started to cramp like I was going to deliver. And so they scheduled me for an emergency DNC.